As Golden remains at number 1, K-pop Demon Hunters now has 4 songs in the Hot 100's top 10, a historic first for a soundtrack. The K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack continues to hunt down more slots in the upper reaches of the Billboard Hot 100. As of the newly revealed weekly chart, 4 songs from the album are now in the top 10, simultaneously. The first time that has happened for any soundtrack album in the history of the Hot 100. Golden remains at number 1 for a second week, after finally having pushed out Alex Warren's Ordinary last week. It is joined again in the top 10 by Your Idol, which repeats at number 4, and Soda Pop, which moves up 5 spots to number 5. The fresh addition to the top 10 that allowed the soundtrack to make history with 4 top 10 slots is How It's Done, which got a 4-spot boost to land at number 10 this week. There are 4 previous examples of a soundtrack generating 4 top 10 songs in the Hot 100, but none of them had all 4 of those songs landing that high concurrently. The last time any soundtrack had 4 or more top 10 hits, according to Billboard, was 3 decades ago, when Waiting to Exhale had 5 in 1995 to 96. But those 5 tunes were not all in the top 10 concurrently, the way the current hits from Demon Hunters are. Billboard also notes that the last time a soundtrack had 3 songs in the top 5 at once, the way the album for this Sony Pictures animation production does, was when Saturday Night Fever pulled it off in 1978. Most industry observers would say that, by most measures, Golden has been the most popular song in the country for more than just 2 weeks. But it was held back for a while in the number 2 slot because its success was primarily due to streaming and it was getting very little radio play, a la the "we don't care about Bruno" phenomenon. But even as streaming continues to see small week-over-week growth, radio is coming on board in a bigger way. This week, airplay for Golden was up an impressive 39%, to 16.2 million radio airplay audience impressions. There's still a major imbalance between streaming and radio play for Golden. Billboard reports that the smash is number 1 on the streaming songs chart for a 5th straight week, while even with the 39% radio increase, it's still only number 42 on the radio songs chart. But even a modicum of airplay may be enough to keep Golden atop the Hot 100, given its streaming indomitability. In fact, its strength may only increase on next week's charts, which could reflect additional interest generated by theatrical sing-along screenings of K-pop Demon Hunters that took the Netflix movie to number 1 at the box office this past weekend. Looking at the Spotify charts, there's certainly no slowdown in sight. The soundtrack currently occupies the top 7 slots on the daily US chart. The number 2 song continues to be Warren's Ordinary. That position for the former chart topper was bolstered by the ballad holding steady at radio with 73.8 million audience impressions, more than 4 times as many as Golden picked up for the week. Repeating in the number 3 spot is Morgan Wallen's What I Want, featuring Tate McRae. Raven Leanie's Love Me Not drops 1 position to number 6. Teddy Swim's perennial Lose Control holds on again at number 7. Justin Bieber's Daisies and Wallen's Just in Case are at numbers 8 to 9 on the Hot 100. On the Billboard 200 albums chart, Wallen's I'm the Problem is number 1 for a 12th non-consecutive week. That's a blockbuster that even K-pop Demon Hunters has a problem hunting down, for all of its hit. The soundtrack remains at number 2, where it has spent 5 non-consecutive weeks. How close are they? Wallen's album had 121,000 equivalent album units for the week, while K-pop had 108,000. The highest debuting album is Conan Gray's Wishbone at number 3, his best achievement on the chart to date. The other big action on the album chart came from 2 2024 albums experiencing big boosts. Billie Eilish's Hit Me Hard and Soft re-entered the top 10 of the Billboard 200 at number 6 due to a 1-year anniversary special vinyl edition hitting the market. Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets Department jumped 8 spots to number 10, presumably just on the strength of news about a follow-up album being on the way.